Welcome to Heart Talk, where we let the heart do the talking. Thank you for tuning in. We are live from Heart Knocks Training Center in Malaysia. I'm your host, Danush. Feel free to say hi and ask any questions in the comments. Tonight, we have Rebeca Ortiz. Yay! We had Caesar, her brother, a while back, earlier this year. And now we've got Rebeca.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's such a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rebeca, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, that's great. Like, how do I?
Like just a little bit about what you do, where you're from. Yeah.
Right. So my name is Rebeca Ortiz, and I am from the United States. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and I am from. My background is my heritage is Mexican, so I come from a hardworking entrepreneurial family. Those are our values and traditions. And my parents were both immigrants when they came to the U.S. and California, and I studied. I have a degree in finance and economics, and a master's in organizational development, and I am a certified ICF coach and also a transformation trainer. I'm certified in the 3 levels of this training, like the basic, the advanced, and the leadership program. So that's my background, and I'm very active in my community. I'm very active in organizing retreats for both men and women, spiritual retreats. And so who I am is I'm a woman that loves to give back to her community, that will do any work necessary to make sure that she's always giving her best, and I'm loving and caring, and I'm also tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically
Okay.
who I am. I'm single.
Yeah.
Single. And I'm happy. I'm adventurous. I love to travel. I love to learn about the world.
So for those of you who are regulars at Heart Knocks, you might have heard, you probably just heard Rebeca mention basic, advanced, LP, right? So basic is our discovery, advanced is our transformation. So around the world, it's generally called basic, advanced, and leadership program, right?
Yeah, LP.
Yeah. LP, yeah. Okay. So Rebeca, I'm curious to find out, how you got into this work, what got you to become a trainer, this journey that you embarked on. Like, when did you start? How did you get into it? Things like that.
Okay, so I took my first discovery training in 2006. I think I was 26 years old, 26, yeah. And I remember that day I was running late to work, but I worked for my parents' company, so it wasn't a big deal, but I was running late, and I met the person that was going to be my future trainer. He says, "Hey, I'm looking for the offices, and I'm looking for Luis and Lupe, which are my parents." I'm like, "Well, you're on the wrong side of the building. Get in the car and I'll take you." It was a big building. And then he handed me his card, and I looked at it and kind of just like tossed it away. I was like, "Okay, thank you." And he became my discovery trainer.
Wow.
And when I experienced that, there was the general sense of what I got was I knew that I was a leader because I was very active at school. I was part of the finance committee, the Latino Business Society. I was a president for that. So essentially what I was doing in my role was I was uniting different business Latino societies to come together and form networking events so that we can provide work opportunities for Latino students, because we are an underserved community. We really are. And I said, and so I went to a school called California State University of Los Angeles, which is the center of Los Angeles. Okay. It's for students that don't get to go to the Ivy League schools or state schools. It's for families that never really, we're like go-getters, but we're not like the shining stars. But we don't want to give up on giving ourselves the opportunity to go to school. So I would bring those groups together. I felt like my life was really flowing. I was active. I was giving back. So when I went to discovery training, that opened up my eyes. And I said, I'm playing a small game. I can give more. And I always knew I wanted to make a difference in the world, but I didn't know how. And even those words weren't even in my worldview. Like it wasn't something that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to make a difference in the world. But going to the training kind of planted that seed of like, I can make a difference in the world. And I can reach more people that care and are committed to bringing value to their community or to a specific group of people, and I can encourage them and given like whatever it is I have to do to wake that up in them, that fire, that passion to go and do that, like I want to do whatever they're doing. Because although I was bringing universities together and student organizations together, we were still partying like college people, okay? We were like, getting trashed, or not really trashed, but like whatever college kids do. And I was like, this is not a very productive way to live my life. And I want to make the most out of my life. And so that's what I discovered from discovery training. And I said, the moment I experienced that, I was like, what do I have to do? And I went to the trainer. I'm like, I'm interested. What can I do? He's like, finish the program. Because there's 3 levels, right? And I was like, okay, done deal. And I paid everything up front, like everything. And I was like, and it was, and I'm thinking in Spanish, but I know this is really, really relevant across cultures, where you take a tub of ice cold water and it gets dumped on you, and it was like you get
like a shock.
Like a shock. It was a shock because it was really honest feedback that I knew my peers and my family were giving me, but I didn't want to listen. So what I experienced is people that I have not met that were honest with me, and they let me see a part of myself that I was ignoring and that I really wasn't willing to see. But it was valuable because that information like opened my eyes of like, first of all, that I really care about what I'm up to. Second, that I'm passionate about helping others. And the third one is like, I think even as the small actions that I'm contributing is going to make a really big difference in my Latino community. So because I am a Latina, it's what I do is not very common. It's not. I would find myself taking flights like to Canada, to Taiwan, to Beijing, to like Spain, and I'm like, I would pinch myself because I'm like, what am I doing here? This path is not meant for a girl like me that comes from like a little town in California. I grew up in Compton, California. Compton, California is very heavily gang related, hardworking class people, immigrants, like it's, and I'm like, who allowed me to be here, first of all? But second, it's like, I had to really break down a lot of fixed beliefs about who I am and maybe what the world says is possible for someone like me.
Okay. Right. So a lot of pinching yourself, is this real?
Yes, but most importantly, it's like, remember, the world tells you what's possible for you.
Right. And I think that kind of leads into, you know, that next bit that we wanted to talk about. We were talking a little bit about values.
Yes.
And, like, can you tell me more about that?
Yes. So one of the most powerful things is that you really get to know, I really got to know myself. I got to know that the world has an agenda for me. And I can either live that agenda and just go based on what's expected of me, and basically the doors that will automatically open for me, like a 9-to-5 job, maybe going to school, having a family, which are things that I want, and and I know some people want, but I'm not saying that's wrong. But what happened is, like, I got to see my fixed beliefs. My fixed beliefs, like, you know, Latina girls aren't supposed to be leaders, aren't supposed to speak up. You don't have a voice. You don't get to lead. You just get to work and do the job and kind of be like a secretary, temp work. So that's what the world says is possible for me. But I was like, I want to go beyond that, right? And I got to identify my personal values. What are my personal values? There's religious values, political values, family values, but what are Rebeca's values? What am I connected to? What am I truly aligned to?
Right.
And for me, one of my values is being courageous, being authentic, being open, being loving. So I got a chance to explore what that means to me and how I can communicate or transmit that in every interaction that I have, so that the interactions that I have are not just like transactional. They're not only just about me, but there's actually like a connection happening,
Right.
like a level of intimacy that this person really gets that I'm here for them, and that I am reliable. You can count on me, and I'm interested in your life, and I care about you. And I'm not saying we have to be lifelong friends, but every connection that we make in this world is fleeting, and you don't know if it's a connection that's meant to last like a lifetime or just in that moment. You get to be a reminder to that person of the kind of world that we live in, or the kind of world that I was up to creating based on my personal values.
I'm curious, how'd you, well, I guess what I'm really curious about is how, or rather maybe what advice, I'm not sure if advice is the right word, but how would one kind of figure that out, their personal values, right? How, because you've done a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right? And like for people who are just starting on this journey, right? For most of our graduates, they're just starting on this journey, right? On personal transformation, personal development. How would one kind of get to that, you know, figure that out, their personal values, distinguishing between what was passed down from family and what's really personal? Because here, and maybe it is actually the same around the world, family values are very heavily passed on.
Yes.
Right? How do we know what's me? How, like, let's say, how do I, sorry, I hit the mic. Sorry, guys. How do I know what's me, and how do I know what's my parents or their parents or my ancestors even?
Yeah, that's a great question, beautiful question. So I've never been to Malaysia, and I've spent about 2 weeks now here in Malaysia, and I was noticing this, like something that unites my culture and maybe the Malaysian culture is there are 3 things that I notice, like family, community, and hope.
You missed that one more.
Which one?
Food.
Food? Oh, yeah. It's like, it is. Like, you walk into a Mexican household or the kitchen, it's like, did you eat? Yes, I ate. Okay, here's some more food.
That's literally what we ask in Malaysia. Dah makan belum? Have you eaten?
Yeah. It's like, yes, I did. I'm full. Oh, good. Okay, here, have some more. And I'm
You want some tea? Some biscuits?
Yes. And it's like, oh, I really like these biscuits. Or it's like, and then the next day they come with a box. Well, at least my mom and dad, they do that. But I'm like, wow. So yes, I'm very filled with a lot of warm hospitality and just recognizing that family is important. And it's like, and it's same as, like, I felt like I'm in my home. When I go visit my mom and dad, we have a round table. It's like every meeting and meal happens in that round table. Doesn't matter, like, so we share that. And we share family time, bonding time, anything that any subject, whether you want an opinion, feedback, or like you want somebody to listen to, whoever's at that table gets to participate in the conversation. But because of transformation, we know that it's something that we don't take it personal. And we listen from a different place. Like, my brother's really caring about me, and it might bother me how he's telling me, or my mom, but everything is kind of like out in the open because we love and care for each other. And community, like, I saw a lot of community, a lot of welcoming, and have you tried this? Do you know this about our culture? Like, and it was very inviting and warm. But hope really stuck out because, and I think hope has transcended over time.
What do you mean?
In terms of like humanity. Because we're always going through changes, right? And maybe certain generations resist certain changes, like different revolutions that we've experienced, industrial revolution, post-war, peaceful revolution. The transition from analog to digital is also a type of revolution. So it's like, hope I always see as like the beacon of light that brings everyone together. Not like, I hope this will happen, but I hope in terms of like, how can I describe this? Like generating force within me that will pave the way.
Right.
And pioneer something that is meaningful, but being inclusive of everyone. Like, not dehumanizing people, but humanizing.
So I'm hearing this also in terms like there's a desire for something bigger, more in life. Hearing this as like everybody has this vision for something to happen in not just their lives, but for the world around them.
Yeah, I think we all have in common, one, that we have a longing to have, to belong somewhere, a longing to have certainty in our lives, but that's kind of like not really possible because life is uncertain, and we need to learn how to navigate with the uncertainty of life, with how life evolves, how we evolve as human beings, but being present and connected. If that, like, yeah, I'm like, that's, so it's like I see hope as, I'm reminding of like, we have an understanding or maybe an acceptance that we need to suffer in order to accomplish something, but I don't see hope as that. I see hope as the polar opposite, as a generating force and power to like bring presence and connection to human beings.
Right.
And have that be what integrates us or weaves us together. And And it's something that I care about. So I'm still being curious about that myself. It's like, I feel like that's what's next for me as well. It's like, what's my message to the world? Maybe I learned to be this transformation trainer. It was impactful. I got to explore my personal values. You asked me, how do you know what your values are? Well, number one, you need to know what is a value.
Yeah.
Like, look it up in the dictionary. If you don't know something, that's my message to everybody. If you don't know something, don't take it for face value, what you hear on TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is. Like, really understand what is a value. And then start to distinguish, identify what are some of the prevailing values in my family. Do I agree with some of them? Do I not agree with some of them? And like some of them, some values, there will be similar. Like, for example, respect. Okay, my family has that value, then I also have that value for myself, respect, right? Is it love? Is it honor? Is it honesty? Is it courage? What is it? Service. And then you start to get to know who you are as a person. And what do you want to see present in the relationships that you're having with others?
Right.
So that I can co-create that. And I'm relating to you in terms of my values.
Right.
So that's why it's like, hey, is one of your personal values keeping your word? If keeping your word is a value, then you need to see, how am I co-creating, keeping my word with me and you and anyone I come across? And there needs to be consistency. When I say I'm living my values, it needs to be consistent, and you need to be able to notice that, one of Rebeca's values is love, and I've experienced her loving. Doesn't matter if I'm in Malaysia, in Turkey, or Mexico or the US with my friends, with my family. People get to experience that I am loving because that's my value.
Right. Like, people will just get it.
Yeah, they'll get it. Like, I'm sure people get that I'm cheerful because I'm very cheerful.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's an important value for me to have. Like, I want to experience my life joyful. So therefore I am joy, wherever I go. Even in traffic. Even in traffic.
I gotta learn that.
Yeah. Even if my luggage gets lost.
Has happened before?
Of course. Even if there's a crying baby on the plane, it's like the joy of the cry of a baby. Like, just, you realize that you can experience a lot of freedom in your life when you understand who you are and you're living according to your own values. You don't experience freedom when you feel like you can't really authentically express what you're passionate about, what is in alignment with you, it's kind of like you get to own what's important to you and what matters. Yeah.
How, well, all this stuff about values, right?
Yeah.
How do I ask this question? Somehow today with you, my brain is going to very complicated questions.
That's fine. Maybe we could go there. Let's go there.
No, it's complicated because in my mind, I'm trying to figure out how to put it into...
How to structure it?
Yeah, how to structure the question.
Okay. What is it related to? Maybe
right, like the trainings, right? How do our trainings support people to kind of figure that out?
Oh, that's a great question. So... I think the trainings it gives you, you can't sell out on yourself. You know what you want. And you know what you know. Meaning, like, you know what you like, you know what's important to you. Okay,
Yeah.
That's very, like, it's in your face. You can't sell out on that.
Right.
So what it does, there's this thing that we say that is very consistent across cultures and countries. But I am that way. I've always been that way.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
simple.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, but why? Why do you think you are this way? So it gives you back an opportunity that not many people get to become a thinker. You become curious.
Right.
But it takes a very specific characteristic to participate. You gotta be open.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta be open. It's very simple, right?
It actually is, yeah. Because if I'm not open, I there is no space for me to become curious about why this is, how I've been.
Yes.
Okay.
And to be a thinker. If there's something that my dad gave me as a gift, he made me think. And I hated it so much. It's like, is it the way it is? How do you know? How do you know? I don't know. Figure it out. Like, I was like, oh my. But I truly believe that the world is missing a little bit of that. Right. We have so much information thrown at us. We've automated every part of the way we live. Everything is automated. We've become numb.
Yeah.
We've stopped thinking. And thinking isn't overthinking, guys. Like, it's not like
Yeah. Not overthinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna overanalyze no, that's not the kind of thinking I'm talking about. I'm talking about like being curious, being open, even explore your own absolute truths. Like, are you the way you are? That's an absolute truth. You're saying it as if there's no other way for you to be. And then you're accepting what the world is telling you. The world is telling you, this is not possible for a Latina. It's not possible for you to have this career. Based on where you live and where you come from, my family values, your country's values in a way, it's like the world has closed for you. But transformation gives you access to be curious, to be open, to really explore. Like, who am I? What am I up to? And let that information like penetrate so you can start thinking from a mindset of, I'm curious, I can learn anything, and the world really is like my playground. I can explore, I can invent, I can create.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In closing.
Oh.
Yeah. What would be, a message that you want to leave behind, for if you had a message for the world, and for us here in Malaysia or for the people back home, you might share this with them, right? You might. Like, what would that message be? Like, what's the one big thing?
It's not even that big. It is and it isn't. And I thought about this a while, and right now it came clear, like just be kind to one another. Stay open. My world and your world are not the same, but we can find commonality between each other and be kind. The world is big and it's small at the same time. And just, this is like a really old saying, but it's one of my personal values. It's like treat your neighbor as you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
And I would like to be treated with love and respect. And that's how I do my best to treat others that way. So it's a very simple message, but it's a big message. Just be kind to one another.
Yeah. Because when you said that, it connected for me how the world around me would change if it was so.
Yeah.
If if here in Malaysia we were just kind with each other, the world would change. Like that.
Yes, it does. And like maybe in our message or my messaging is like, oh, make a difference in the world. But don't be so scared of like the world at large. Really, it does begin within my own circle, my friends, my family members, my colleagues. When I go pick up my groceries or laundry, when I'm at the supermarket, when I'm trying to park my car.
Yeah.
Be conscious of who's around you, really, and live your personal values. What are they?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
So thank you, Rebecca, for this time.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody out there, for
Thank you.
tuning in to Heart Talk. We'll see you next time for the next episode of Heart Talk. Until then, remember, let your heart do the talking. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.